This is your weekly edition of the Monarch Sports Update with your host, Sports Director Chris Wallenberg. Monarch Sports have enjoyed yet another week of win streaks and remarkable performances as Kings begins to near the close of its spring sports seasons. The week began with the golf team who traveled down the street to face local rival Wilkes University, but could not match the scoring streak of the Colonels and fell 385 to 343. The Monarchs bounced back 2 days later when they hosted Marywood University and won 322 to 353. Kings competed at the Glenmore Invitational yesterday as well and finished 5th place on the day as a team. The baseball team also began their week with a strong performance on Tuesday afternoon, destroying Clark Summit University 23-4. The men carried that momentum into the next matchup with rival Wilkes University 2 days later and handled the Colonels 9-3. Kings faced Wilkes University again on Saturday afternoon through a doubleheader and split the pair of games 1-1. Kings baseball has improved to 13-14 with an impressive 9-6 conference record this season and will face the conference-leading Misericordia Cougars on Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. Only 22 women's basketball players in Kings College history have scored 1,000 points throughout their career, and Rebecca Prosiak joined that elite club on Saturday afternoon when the ladies bested Fairleigh Dickinson University in Madison, New Jersey in a MAC Freedom Conference matchup. Accomplishing this feat as a junior is no simple task, and the MAC Conference Player of the Week has had this goal in her sights for quite some time. Hear from the dominant post player herself on how she's consistently been able to achieve such a high level of success.
I think every year my goal was to try to improve year by year, and I did that. Like freshman year, my field goal percentage wasn't great for a big, and it wasn't as strong as I wanted to be, but I still had a pretty okay year.
Tune in to 88.5 WRKC Radio Kings College on Wednesday, January 23rd to listen live as the men's and women's basketball teams will host the Misericordia Cougars in a crosstown rivalry. The action will be brought to you live by myself, Sports Director Chris Wallenberg, and my co-host Ryan Coloma in the first of two matchups as the men's game will tip off at 6 p.m. Owen is, of course, appreciative of his third MAC Freedom Defensive Player of the Week award during his time at Kings, but he knows that the chemistry built on and off the field with his teammates is far more important.
I think the team feeds more off of each other in the way that we play on the field as opposed to awards. I know that different awards like this isn't the end goal, what we're going for. I think wins, and especially conference wins and a conference championship, is what we're building towards. I think it's great to get acknowledged for all the hard work we're putting in, but I think as a team, we really just keep each other accountable on the field, and we're building to something greater.
Welcome back to 88.5 WRKC Kings College Radio. Thank you all for listening as we are tuned in here for another edition of Wally's Wide World of Sports. We only have about 20 minutes to go here on 88.5 WRKC. We still have a lot of topics to get through, so we're going to get right to it and jump into a packed show right now. As I said before the break, I want to get into Zion Williamson because he's so much fun to watch. He's been fun to watch since he was a sophomore in high school, and he was winning dunk contests then. And ever since then, it's been amazing to watch how he's grown and what college he's going to go to, and the progress that he's made into college as well. And people thought before he got to college that he wasn't going to be the player that he was advertised to be, and people thought that he was just athletic and he wasn't good at basketball, but he's proved those people wrong. He can shoot, he's a good playmaker, he's a good ball handler, and he's a fantastic athlete. But what I want to argue is that there are many other players in the league that are better ball handlers than him, that are better shooters than him, and that are almost as athletic than him and have a higher basketball IQ. And right now he's the best player in college basketball because he's 285 pounds and no one can handle him. He's stronger than every other player that steps on the floor with him, and he's just going to outmuscle them every time. So when he gets to the league, he will for sure be the number one overall pick, and whoever takes him is going to have a fantastic prospect on their hands, but they're going to expect him to be the next LeBron James type player and win MVPs on MVPs on MVPs, and I'm just not convinced that he's that type of player. Welcome, WRKC fans and fans of Kings College basketball. Thank you for tuning in to WRKC here on a Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, as the Kings College Monarchs take on the Delaware Valley Aggies in a MAC conference matchup. I am Sports Director Chris Wallenberg, and alongside me is Anthony DeFilo. Thank you for joining me, Anthony.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure in this MAC Freedom Conference matchup. The Monarchs sitting at 4-17 and 2-8 in the MAC Freedom Conference, and Delaware Valley Aggies are going to be a tough out, sitting at 7-3 in the conference and 11-10 overall, proving that the MAC Conference games are so much more important than just your overall record. So, did you want to go over some key things for the Aggies?
Oh yeah, so look at the Aggies. They're very well at attacking the rim. They're making the second most free throws of any time in the conference with 322.
On Wednesday night, the undefeated Misericordia Cougars, who are ranked 24th in the nation of all Division III teams that play women's college basketball right now, traveled to our own McCrane Gymnasium to take on the Lady Monarchs right here in front of the home crowd. The game lived up to all the hype, and those ladies believed from the minute they stepped onto the court that they were going to hand the Cougars their very first loss of the season. That is exactly what they did in quite heroic fashion. Head coach Caitlin Hazen-Michaels knew her team was mentally prepared for a game like this, especially with the way the ladies have been learning from big moments all season long.
I think our guys have done a really good job of building their confidence throughout the season.
This team continues to get better with every practice and every game this season, as they learn how to play off each other and build stronger team chemistry as they streak towards the playoffs. And junior guard Mackenzie Uri has been focused on whatever they can do to improve every facet of the team's game throughout this season.
Continue us playing like how we did last night. That really was the best that we've cohesively played all season. So you get that consistency.
Well, they definitely need to take some shots down the field here and be aggressive early in the game to get the confidence of his young players rallying and get some confidence in those linemen as well.
Yeah, and an offensive line that produced over 350 yards rushing.
And Titus Nelson in the backfield now. Two receivers out left. Basella takes the shotgun snap. A screen pass over to Constantino, who is running around a couple defenders, pushed out of bounds at about the 20-yard line.
And the tackle was by Bill Burton, a senior defensive back from Sicklerville, New Jersey, and went to Timber Creek High School. It's right outside of Philadelphia on the New Jersey side of the Delaware River.
So it's going to be 2nd and 7. Two receivers out to each side with Basella in the backfield and Titus Nelson off to his right. Titus Nelson will get the handoff off the right side of the field. 4 or 5 defenders to bring him down there as he gets about 4 in the play.
The physical presence of Titus Nelson is why he makes sense for him to be a fullback.
Exactly, and even though he's listed as a fullback, he really plays more of a halfback role as he has the step to get around defenders as well as the step to run through defenders, which makes him so balanced and such a dangerous running back.
So it's 2nd and 1 from the 28. A handoff is to Nelson, and he is not going to go anywhere. It was a third.
And Stevenson is going to not be able to hold the Monarchs as Titus Nelson is able to stay on his feet long enough to get pushed over by his linemen to that first down marker. This offensive line looking a world better than they did last year as many of those players have grown a year older, a year more experienced. As Basel's going to take this shotgun snap in the backfield right over the outstretched arm of Jordan Downs. Look for Ringler isolated out to the left by himself here, and it's going to be Basella taking it himself, immediately brought down at the line for no gain.
And so now what do they do with a 3rd and long here?